Hey guys, it's Caleb with Silk Agent here. If you're anything like me, you've probably spent too much money on real estate softwares trying to find the right ones for dialing or keeping track of your contacts or tracking your numbers, and everything just feels super scattered. That's the whole purpose of Silk Agent. Basically, just to give you a brief little synopsis, it tracks all your numbers. You have your own landing page, and for pro variants, you can also have it set up like a Zillow website where you have IDX data. So it's a full real estate website that your clients can use to search for homes. You have a calendar that integrates to everything with goal tracking in your dashboard. Uh, this I don't want to get too much into it because it's still in the prototype phase, but there will be a dialer. It will be 6 lines, CRM to track all of your contacts and all that. And I want to break all this down in a relatively quick time frame. I'm making videos for individual sections, but this one I want to be as like a broad overview so you can see exactly how you would be using Silk Agent on a day-to-day basis, and then where to go from there. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is head over to silkagent.net, and basically this is where you're going to sign up for it. Right now, the free trial, it should show up as like 12 days on the screen here, or 14 days. I'll be expanding that to like 30 days anytime soon, so it'll be more than enough time for you to get in, get your brands, and see whether or not it's for you. But yeah, I can go ahead and fill demo data here. If you want to put in all your information, it'll automatically upload to your website, so I would just recommend putting in your proper data. And my one ask is that if you do use this, everything's free right now that is available. But my ask is that you go ahead and just give feedback. I'll show you how to give feedback on the software, or if you have any features that you want added. You can do that in the feature section or in the feedback section, or just by commenting on this video. So once you agree to that, it'll give you your own account, and here you are. So basically, if you click on that up there, Skyline Properties, just the demo data name, that could be your company name or just your name if you want the website to be branded after you. And you can also change that to a logo and all that good stuff. But yeah, this would be your own personal website. You can post reviews, all your accolades, different links that you want to send people to. Say you want to have your phone number so they can text you real easily. If you have a website to show off your listings, if you're not signing up for the pro variants and you won't be showing listings on this website, you can do it through that, search properties, all that good stuff. You can also upload files for them to download. So you want to put your resume on here or something like that, or like this demo information, like the buyer's guide, just something like that. You can make this your own. You can also add social medias. Obviously, there's a call, an email button. But yeah, you can just personalize this to your own, and I'll show you how you can edit this in just a second. So up here on the agent login, you'll already be logged in, but if you were to send a client here, if they were press the agent login, it would prompt them to log in. So nobody's gonna see your stuff. It's locked behind the login. But first thing you see when you go into the agent dashboard or the agent portal, is the dashboard. So this is basically where you're going to be looking at the big picture. You're going to be seeing all of your analytics, your metrics, where you can improve, where you're doing well, all that stuff. You're going to see that here. Right now it's pretty barren. Everything says zero. There's nothing going on here, and the sales funnel is empty. But basically, the first thing you do when you hop into Silk Agent, you're going to want to go here and press Add Goals. So go there, and then I'm just going to give you a broad overview. Basically, you want to track exactly what you want to net, not gross. You want to track how much you want to net by 12 months from now, or for the rest of the year, depending on where you're at in the year. If you just want to finish out the year, you can see that. But I'm going to do 12 months from today, and then I'm going to say I want to make $100,000. Let's say taxes 25%, 15% business expense, and then say 80% commission, or 80% from split, for the average home price. Say 300,000, 3% commission, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fill these in really fast. Of course, it's not 100,000. Feel free. I've already made a video on the dashboard specifically, so if you want to see this a little more in depth, you can feel free to do that. I'm just trying to kind of breeze through this right now. And let me go and explain it though. So basically, contacts per hour, that's how many contacts you would expect to make per hour. Pretty straightforward. And then for lead conversion, if I speak to 10 people, I would expect to get one lead out of that because it's 10% conversion for appointments of those leads. That's basically a sales funnel. So of those leads, I'd expect to get 1 out of 5 of those an appointment, 50% show rate, 50% conversion rate, and then say a 75% sale conversion rate. So all those, again, you can just take a look at that, change it, and obviously down here it shows all the numbers. I know it'll auto update. So say I am just an atrocious realtor and I 20% of my listings sell. Well, then I need to do 70 contacts an hour just about, because even though I'm getting lots of listings, they're not converting. So I'm going to put 75 again and see it updates back. So I need to contact 18 people a day to generate about 2 leads, and then every 2 days I need to be setting an appointment and then get a listing about every 2 weeks. So every 10 work days. So I'm gonna go ahead and save these goals. But as you can see here, so your net income would be 100,000, but with the taxes and the expenses and all the stuff that I broke down, you really need to be making about 160, and it automatically calculates it. So you don't have to be sitting there at the beginning of the year trying to figure out all your numbers, how much you need to like account for taxes and all of that. You can break it all down here so you can see exactly how much you would expect to net after paying your taxes and all that stuff. And then so you need 18 transactions for all of these numbers, and then you would need to contact 4,722 contacts over the course of the year. Sounds daunting, but then when you break it up for the day, it's only 18 people a day. So go and save the goal. Now everything starts to fill in. So these 4 boxes represent what you need to do for this week. So for example, this week you need to get 91 contacts, 9 leads generated. You want to set 2 appointments, and you also want to take a listing. And again, if your conversions are lacking, so obviously if you were to just start and make 91 contacts, you might be able to get a listing, but if you don't, down here the sales funnel, it'll track all of your conversions. So if your contacts are great, but then your qualified leads are lagging, say you're getting less than a 10% conversion to leads, it'll automatically flag it. Everything's flagged right now because obviously there's no data there. But once you have more like 30 days of data in here, the flags will start to become more relevant, and you just want to make sure that all the conversions are what you predicted they would be when you add the goals. And then you can either edit the goals here to change those numbers, or you could press adjust goals, and then once there's differing information, then it will auto suggest what to change it to. So that's a pretty smart system there. Your daily performance, this is just a good way to delta check to make sure you're doing everything you need to be doing. If you complete the day, it'll turn green, and then or at least it'll turn green for the next day. It's always blue for the current day. If you started doing the tasks but then you didn't complete everything, it'll be yellow. And if you just completely bombed and you didn't do any information or didn't do any activities and you didn't chart anything, then it'll be a red day. How to go ahead and record the activity? There's 2 easy ways to do this. You can either click on the box and then type in the information, and you'll see this box itself. If I put 0, it's red. If I put 1, so I did something even though it wasn't 18, which is my goal, then it would be yellow, and then 18, obviously 18 plus would be green. So I'm going to save the goal, and then you'll see one of my 3 mandatory tasks was just completed because I need to have 18 contacts, generate 1.8 leads, and then prospects for 1.8 hours based on my contacts per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then if I were to do all of these, let me just go ahead and fill it all in. So I got 2 leads. I'm going to spend 2 hours prospecting. So they're both green. Now by tomorrow, it'll be a green box because I've completed all my tasks. So there's all that. You can also record activity from up here. It's the same thing, just with some more information. And really quick, trying to breeze through this. Also the daily metrics. This is where you can set specific goals. So if you want to make it where not just this, say you want to also definitely make a post on social media or something, you can set that as another metric to track for your day, similar to something like 75 hard, where you have like a set amount of things you have to do during the day. If you miss it, then you fail for that day. So you can play around with this, make it your own, just see what works for you. But as you can see, all this updated. So I did 18 contacts, so I'm 20% done, and then I got 2 out of 9 leads. So everything updates. You can see if you're on track or not. See, like right now, it says I'm behind. Not entirely sure why. I guess it's the way the math works out. But like for 2 out of 9 leads, that's on track and all that. So this is the dashboard. I tried to just do like a 10,000-foot view, but I feel like I covered just about everything. Hopefully that's a pretty good explanation of the dashboard. So let's go ahead and move on to the calendar. So as you can see, the first thing that you should have noticed is that when you hover over the calendar, you can see the command center, and that's what this is, but it has a widget that automatically pops up. You can see the time on there, and then if you have tasks or there's timers going on, there's all that. Now, for realtors, I feel like it's really tricky to lock into software to set up your schedule. A lot of people use their emails or you try to write it out on paper. But Silk Agent is neat because it has the calendar built into everything else. So the dialer, the CRM, the dashboard, all of that is synced to your calendar. So you never have to go to another software or try to like have syncing happen because it's automatically done in-house. So let me go ahead and build out a schedule for today. Let's say, um, how do I want to do this? I probably want to make it where, say like 6 a.m. I wake up, get ready, wake up, ready, and I'm gonna call that personal time. And then from 7:30 to 8, I want to role play because I want to practice before I actually get started. So I'm gonna do that. And then I want to prospect for 2 hours. Again, I'm just trying to build this real quick. I'll probably just go until lunch because I don't have to do the full day right now. And then from 10 to, let's just say 10 to 11, I'm doing follow up. And I'll call that, I guess I'll call that admin work. And then I'll say from 11 to 12, lunch, just so I can go ahead and stop doing this. You get the gist. And of course, you can set a location, add nodes, you can add contacts from your CRM, all that good stuff. You can change the category like I showed already, and then everything's color coded. And then what's also really nice about the system is you can duplicate and go ahead and have it where multiple days will have the same task. So that's really nice. There's all that. Is there anything else I want to show before I go into the schedule builder? Oh yes. So for the schedule, obviously this is the default one, but you can go ahead and add a new one. So video demo, we go ahead and add a new schedule. And now you have a completely fresh template to work with. So say you have a weird schedule for 1 week, you can just go ahead and build out a new one to follow for that week. So you never have to feel capped, or like if you delete anything here, then it would mess you up. So there's all that. I do want to play around with this as well. So obviously, if you go to the video demo, let me add a few things. So in the command center, see this task is an hour, so I can start a timer, and it'll keep track of it up here too. So see, it'll show that I've done it for 5 seconds, so I can just keep track of how long I've been doing it pretty quickly. With the bird's eye view, it shows what's up next. I can reschedule the task. It's pretty handy. And then also, I'm going to go and go back to my blank schedule now, and I'm going to show off the schedule builder. So basically, this uses API tokens for OpenAI, so you can just go ahead and have it generate a schedule for you really easily. So basically, you just want to answer this questionnaire. So I'm going to start at 8, end at 6. Yeah, that sounds good. Most energy in the mornings. Lunch break, that sounds good. Focus session. Okay, so that's all pretty. So okay, my daily contact needs, as you can remember, it was supposed to be 18. And then this one doesn't seem to be syncing right now, but this is. So 10% contact to lead, 20% lead to appointment, 50% appointment to sell. All that's working great. So just go ahead and make sure everything's syncing over properly. I'll have this fixed by the time you do this. This will be something I fix probably right after recording this video because that should be syncing over. But yeah, here you go. So you need to be prospecting for less than 2 hours a day. Your target listings per month is 4. Cold calls. That. Okay. Buffer between appointments, you want 30 minutes. I'm just going ahead. You can read all these and answer the questions. This is also something that's really handy because a lot of times these automatic schedule builders, sometimes they fail to account for things that you already have baked into your schedule. Let's say you do Tai Chi and you do that Tuesday, Thursday from from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. You want to account for that because you don't want to schedule appointments and double book yourself or anything like that. Now, what I put here is just to make sure that you account for getting ready and then going to the location. So, say you live 30 minutes from Tai Chi, and then it takes you 15 minutes to get ready. So, really, you need to be getting ready at 4:15, and then if it takes you 30 minutes to get back and 20 minutes to shower and get ready again, well, that's 50 more minutes. So let's go to 7:20. Well, just say 7:30. So really, that's what you need to account for, and that would be personal. So I'm going to add commitment and press next, and I'm going to go ahead and generate my schedule. So this will take about 20 to 25 seconds. I'll just go ahead and let it run so you can see how it's really not that inconvenient. But yeah, so this will run through and then it'll go ahead and generate the schedule. And then obviously, if something doesn't look the way you want it to, you can always play around with it and make it to your own. Okay, so yeah, what was that? 15 seconds, maybe 20 at the max. So I'm going to go ahead and replace my current schedule. Let's apply it. Okay, here we go. So here's what the schedule looks like. See, and obviously there's some things I'm not liking immediately. So at 8 a.m. is the call prep. I'd like to start calling at 8 a.m. So you can just move all that stuff around. But that doesn't seem to be some weird swiping logic out of that. But basically, yeah, say I want to start at 8 a.m. I'll just go ahead and bump that up to 8 a.m. Admin tasks, midday marketing, lunch break, 1. And basically, if you don't like any of this, this is actually looking pretty good though. So I could just go with this. But yeah, so here's the schedule builder. Let me know if you have any questions for it, and then obviously this will be updated as time goes on. But yeah, that's how we have it set up right now. I do not want to get too much into this right now because it is just a prototype, as you can very clearly see when you first press on it. But this is the dialer. It's actually being transitioned and in the testing phase right now of getting to actual calls. Now the thing is, this would have to be under the pro account too because you have to have an actual line for it and all that, and then leads cost money. So I can't offer this for free, obviously. But yeah, so how we're setting it up is it will be 6 lines dialing at once. It'll automatically record the calls and transcribe them, and also it'll suggest tasks and all that. That's one of the hardest things is when you first generate a lead, you have to kind of take a break from what you're doing and start taking notes on the lead, or else you're going to forget everything. This automatically does it for you, so you don't have to waste any time when you finish a call with a contact. You can just move on immediately and know what you need to talk about when you call them back because everything's there. You can read about them for like 30 seconds to be caught up. So I'm not going to show this off too much. Basically, you have groups on this side where you can separate people into categories. Your contacts will show up here, and then obviously when you select contacts or press start dialing, it has a very smart call logic, and I will show that off more in a later video. But let's go ahead and move on to the CRM. So this is fully fledged out. Of course, you have to sync a phone number. If you're interested, the trial, you can go and play around with this without the phone number, and you can just have it for free. So all of this will work just aside from calling, obviously. But as you can see up here, some analytics to track your CRM contacts, and then down here, you can also select from different groups. So say I have a contact and they're a qualified, right? So qualified is the green, and then I have another contact. Add another. They're a warm lead. So if I want to go through and call all my qualified leads, I press that, and then it'll just highlight him. And if I have another qualified lead, let me go and show that up. Okay, so now I have 2 qualified leads. If I go in here, I can just filter between them, or I can like auto select through them, and then select them. So that's how the groups work. Pretty straightforward. Once you actually click on the contact and go to the contact card, this is designed to work on both desktop, tablet, even mobile actually, and that's why there's these different options. So if your screen is large enough and you can show everything, then it's always nice to show it on your screen, but if you have a smaller screen, you can toggle between activity or the tasks and info, all that. I'm just going to stick here for the remainder of this demonstration. The left side, this is your timeline feed. So if you want to take notes, you can do that. It'll save in this timeline. If you were to call, it would auto transcribe, give you summaries, and then suggested tasks as well. And I'll be showing that off very soon in a later video. Same for text and all that. So everything will show up here on the left. And then on the right side, you have your task editor. So you can create a task. I'll go ahead and do that. Set. Stay. Stay and say I want to call it and go ahead and create that task. And then there's a demo one there too. But yeah, so I set up an appointment for Wednesday and that will automatically show up. I'll show you where that goes. And then the contact information, you can edit all of this. And then obviously if I were to change the group, it changes the color coordination. So if I were to make them qualified, green. If I want to make them warm, they go to that color. But let me show you where to find this set appointment for Wednesday. If you just look in the CRM, you can see here's your contact groups. This is where you're going to see everyone. But you can also go to your tasks and then say I have no tasks due today and no past due tasks. But if I press on future tasks, and these are all the other demo ones, but let's set an appointment for Wednesday. This shows up and it's for 2 days from now. And then when it's Wednesday, then this will show up in your due today. So really for your CRM, all you have to do is come in the morning and then just go to tasks and see if you have anything you have to do. If not, then you have to worry about it unless you have past due tasks. So that's the CRM in a nutshell. You can import your contacts from another CRM. And then also using the dialer, and then you can also have your leads from your CRM show up in the dialer if you just wanted to call them that way, but it'll be separated. But if you want to send leads from your dialer to your CRM, that'll just be one button. So like say you generate a lead, press that they're a lead, and then it'll just automatically pop them into here. So just very, very straightforward. No syncing between softwares. It's all the same place. And then lastly, transactions. There's not too much to show here, so I'm actually not going to cover this in the video. It's pretty straightforward, but we will be providing a massive update to this very soon. So I'm actually not going to talk about it too much because all this information will be changing shortly. Before I end the video though, I do want to show you how to send feedback. So right here at the top, if you press that, all you have to do is select whether it's a bug report, if you have a feature you want added, or just if you just want to message me in general. Type out your message. You can upload a photo or a video, and then just go ahead and submit it. It gets sent straight to my dashboard, so I'll see all of that. Same for admin. I'm just gonna go ahead and show off one feature really quick. So here's a lot of stuff. Don't worry about it right now, but the website management is what I want to show you. Like I said earlier, you can completely change this website and make it your own. So if you want to change your name, change your title, your bio, your user experience, all of this is editable. You can change your reviews. So let me just like delete some. Say test a few times just to show that it changes. You can set a profile photo for this. You can change your color scheme for your website. You can change your logo. So for Skyline Properties, if I had a logo for that, I could change that, set that up. What looks best is PNGs, where the background is invisible so that it just blends seamlessly with this nav up top. That's what I think looks the best. And then obviously you can add, I'm just gonna say something so it shows up. But if you type stuff out, or you can put your link for the social media and they'll actually pop up. So you can link to really any social media or a personal website, anything like that. So there's that. Save these changes. Back to the dashboard. Okay. Anything else I want to show off real quick? Okay, so I've got admin settings. If you are interested in signing up for the full version, say you want to like actually be using the phone for the CRM and all that, you just go straight to billing, and then you can select from the solo agent or the team if you're looking to start a team, anything like that. This is where you would go. It's a pretty straightforward process. You can sync your email trying to breeze through this. Once you do have an account, you can set up your email literally with like 2 clicks, or set up your phone number for your business line so you can call from CRM. It automatically purchases you a phone line. And then obviously for your account, you can play around with all of this and set your days off, all that good stuff. Okay, well, I guess that's everything I wanted to show off about Soak Agent. Hopefully you like it, and let me know if you have any questions or if you have any feedback. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.